Thank you.
Yep. Thank you for waiting. I appreciate it. You guys are kind of like you're my video editors to make sure that this stuff gets posted up. In this video, I want to welcome you to the Infinity Solutions setup that I've got going on here, and I'm going to start releasing little videos. Like today is going to take your copper and some of your zinc, okay, and a piece of regular copper wire. And it's been stripped off with some salt water and that caustic that I taught you how to make earlier, okay? And you can create your own little mini CO2 kits, all right? So far I've found these to be, to make the most CO2, the quickest, and you know, for the size of this, this creates so much CO2. It's very impressive, all right? And we'll be able to see this, but I'm going to show you that I'm just using alligator clips, okay, to connect a zinc piece and a nano-coated piece of copper tape, okay? And that's all I'm doing here. I cut them to size so that they fit inside of the plastic container, okay? I have a mixture of 2 cups of salt water here, okay, with 8 tablespoons, heaping tablespoons of non-iodized salt, okay. This salt right here, okay, not a source of iodide. I'm letting it dissolve. I'll stir it up before I add it to it. But I always mix 2 cups at a time, so that way I know that my mixture is consistent, okay. And for your zinc, okay, you can use anything you need. Most nuts and bolts that you can buy at Walmart or the hardware store are coated in zinc. You can scrape off the sides of the penny, all right? Inside of that is zinc, or you can just melt the pennies and turn it into a flat piece, okay? This particular stuff that I got is a zinc roll, and I got it online at Amazon, you know, for like 15 or 20 bucks for a whole roll of this pure zinc, and it's called Moss Repel, and you know, it's just designed to keep moss from growing on your rooftop, and that's what they use it for. Because the zinc likes to dissolve in the salt water, I thought it would be more cost effective than trying to buy zinc sheets and cut them up and you know, ending up with nothing left. So you get more zinc for your money, and you know, for the purposes that we're using, okay. So I'm using that. I'm using copper tape. These particular nano-coated copper pieces here were old baseball cards, not old ones, but you know, baseball cards that I had put the tape over the top to kind of give it some flexibility or some sturdiness, and then I sealed them in their plastic bags with a couple squirts of the caustic. All right, just the cold caustic, and then when I left it there, it turned black on its own and became nano-coated copper. All right, so I'm utilizing all of these cards. I just cut them up into a smaller shape. Okay, you can do the same thing by taking just copper tape by itself. I love this stuff. If you don't have any, please get some, because I will utilize it a lot in place of any kind of nano-coated copper or anything. Okay? And for this, you can just make yourself a little plate by bending it in half and sticking it on itself. Okay? And so now you've got yourself an instant copper plate. All right? If you're worried about the glue, cut off the ends of the glue. Okay? Give them nice clean edges. All right? In my previous video, you saw me make this caustic solution here, okay? Utilizing many different kinds of supplements and whatnot, okay? All I'm gonna do is take that piece of copper tape that I've put in there, okay? I've got my needle nose pliers here, and I'm just gonna dip it, submerge it, swish it around a little bit, okay, and bring it back out. Now this might eat the glue off from between it, but I don't think so. All right. And then I've got this little plastic bag here. Okay. You can use lunch bags, sandwich bags. That's mainly what I use is sandwich bags, but I'm reusing this one. Okay. And seal it. You don't have to do anything else to it. Okay. Just seal it. And it's 10:52 by my clock here. All right. We'll see how long it takes before this starts to change color. Okay. And it becomes nano coated. All right. So that's how you can make an instant copper plate. I don't recommend it, but in emergency situations, you can take apart certain cell phone batteries, okay, carefully, and they have copper foil on the inside. You can use that same way, dip it inside of your caustic for a few minutes, and then seal it within your plastic bag. Once that's done, the hydrogen is starting to be pulled from the plastic, and it creates that magnet on the surface that draws the carbon to the surface of your copper, and that's what creates the graphene. Okay, just remember, about 15 or 20,000 layers of graphene is when you can actually start to see it turn black. Okay, and when it's pure black, you know, there's no telling how many layers that you've got right there until you can get on a good recording or a good microphone. Okay, so with this, I'm going to go ahead and fill this container here with the salt water, all right? And then I'm going to go ahead and make and build another one for you. And got to find all this stuff. All right. Now, I just got a syringe here. Okay. I'm taking the salt water out of this. This one is slightly warm. Oh, there's one more thing that I want to do before I take care of this. Okay. And I'm going to take this coconut oil spray here. All right. And I'm going to spray my nano-coated copper plate with it. Just going to tap it. Okay. You're not going to see much. And what I did is I just sealed this. All right. And when I add the salt water to this, it's going to float on the surface of the water, whatever is excess. All right. And it's going to basically plasmatically connect them. You don't really even need this copper wire anymore once you put coconut oil on the surface and it's been touching this. But for our own peace of mind, we're going to have this copper wire. Okay. This protects your nano coating from the salt, the corrosive nature of the salt. Okay. And you don't have to replace your copper plates as often. Okay. Anyway, now I'm going to fill up with this saltwater solution. And I'll fill it up till it's almost to the top. Okay. You can see the water level here. Okay. And then make sure that I don't touch the alligator clips with the salt water so that I don't contaminate my CO2 water now. Okay, or my GANS water. Now, we're done with this for now. Okay. And now this is sitting here. Okay. And we'll be able to check in on this in a little bit. All right. I'll put it off over here. Maybe you guys can keep an eye on it for me. If it runs away, let me know. But that's the CO2 kit right there. That's all it is. This tiny little thing. Okay. And you can make them, you know, relative to the size like this. You know, if you're going to use a bigger container, then I suggest that you put the entire wall of your container like this one, okay, where it's all nano-coated copper on this whole wall side, and this one's all zinc on this side. So if your container is bigger, put your whole wall, okay, that whole side of the cube as the nano-coated copper or the zinc, okay, and I think that you'll get relatively the same amount of results. You know, what you see here, if you just amplify it and make it bigger, it will do the exact same thing and produce more results, okay, as you're making it bigger. All right, just got to be proportionate. Now, I get another container. Okay. Just like earlier, I bought these little plastic containers here on Walmart for 88 cents. Okay, and I bought a whole bunch of them. Am I sure why at the time that I bought a whole bunch of them? No, I am now. Okay, and that was so that I can show everybody how to make these. All right. And I know it's really difficult with that white background, so we're just going to try and make it work. Okay. Now, I have these little black cards that I made. They're old baseball cards, okay? And I took and put copper tape on both sides. I sealed them down, and I put them in the plastic containers here, the plastic bags, and I put some caustic in them. These have never touched anybody's skin after they've been nano-coated, okay? These are what I consider sterile pads. You know, because once the nano-coated dried, it's pretty much set in stone, and nobody's touched it since then. Okay, that's for all of these when I made them all at once. And you can see possibly on here the 3/8 that I just took a pen, and before I nano-coated it, I wrote 3/8 on there. All right, 3 infinity loops, and it seems to help. Okay, maybe it just helps for me because it's psychological. I don't know. Okay, it's all part of that emotion. But if it worked for me, I know it can work for you guys. So, you know, get creative. Draw whatever you want on your copper tape that brings you a smile, makes you happy, and it translates into this. Okay, so what I did was I took them out, all right, and I cut it. Okay, I cut it almost in half so that it can fit in between here for this container. Okay, now again, I need to spray this with coconut oil to protect it from the salt water. All right. And what it's doing here is it's molecularly bonding the nanomaterials to the copper, okay, with the coconut oil. The coconut oil is electrically conductive, and it also repels water. Okay, so the water never really touches the surface of the nanocoating anymore, but the electrical current that's created with the salt water and the nanomaterials is still transferred through the coconut oil. That's why we utilize it. All right, so that being said, we're going to put this in here. Okay, I have some more alligator clips somewhere. I thought I had a All right, I gotta find some more alligator clips. So, anyway, the next step is to do the same thing, okay, with your zinc, and I want it to be about the same height. Okay. So, just see me guesstimating. I'm not measuring anything specific, I'm just guesstimating, guys. Okay? This doesn't have to be brain surgery for us. We don't have to make it complicated. So now, these two pieces fit in here together, okay? This creates what I need, okay, to get accomplished. Since I don't have any more alligator clips right here, I'm just going to, man, I can't do that with this. I was going to use copper tape, but it won't stick to the nano coating. That's why I was using the clips. Let me try to find some of them. Ask and you shall receive. Okay. And so I'm just going to connect one side to the zinc and one side to the copper, and now they're situated. Okay. Now it's situated. You can see the zinc on that side. You can see the nano coat on that side with the coconut oil. Okay. 2 cups of water with 8 heaping spoons full of regular salt with no iodide. I've mixed it together. Dissolved as much of the salt in there as possible. So it should be about a 10% salt solution. Okay. And now I'm just going to put the salt water in this container. And then make sure not to, again, to not put your salt water level to where it's touching the ends of your clips down here, okay? But you want as much of these copper plates and the zinc plate to be under the water, okay? Because that's where they're going to trap everything. Okay? And we can go ahead and set that off to the side. All right, we'll pull this one up here. Maybe we can see it. Okay. See if I can get my flashlight. Of course you can, because you need it. And that means that somebody came in here. All right, let's see if we can't see this a little bit closer. Somebody talk to me and tell me, can you see this?
It looks okay.
All right. Now, can you see the color?
No.
All right. Right now, it is just starting to create bubbles right along the edge of the plate, okay, on the surface. And the water is cloudy, okay? It's a thick, cloudy looking water. You know, now salt will already do that, but you can tell that there's an obvious difference in here because it's not a consistent cloudiness all the way around. All right, you can start to see things taking shape, and pretty soon we should start being able to see some of the CO2 forming into bigger clumps. Okay, so, but this is how you make a mini CO2 kit. Okay, that I believe is going to yield yourself quite a bit more CO2 than you may have been previously used to. So keep that in mind. And we're going to go ahead and stop the recording for now.
Mike,
Yes, ma'am.
I think you can see it better when you put the flashlight on the corner of the container. I think that showed it a little better.
Like right here?
Yeah.
You can see a little bit of a cloudiness that's forming. Inside of that, that is the neutrinos that are being attracted, or the GANs as it's being called too. But you can see it, at least from my angle, and I'm kind of hoping you'll be able to see it with the camera. But you know, we got what we can get here. All right, so I'll be collecting.
Flashlight on the side.
Do what?
Put the flashlight on the side. Yeah. No. Yeah.
Can you see it there better?
A little better.
Because it's pretty dark. How's that?
Too bright.
Too bright?
Mm-hmm.
Too bright, I'm assuming?
Yes. I think in the side was the best.
From the side only, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. From this angle, I can see and does that help? I can see it from my angle. I don't know about the camera or not. But at any rate, there's a bunch of GANs that's forming in here, and you can actually see it starting to take shape, and it moves really slow, kind of like you'd picture it in space. So, all right. Any other questions? Got any questions? All right. Go ahead and stop the recording.